Hilarious. No, nobody likes it when I say shit like that, but I'm gonna keep it rolling.
Keep growing.
Do you want to mess with Limp Bizkit?
I wouldn't
Not
dare.
not really.
I
Yeah.
hear he breaks stuff.
Mm. I was introduced to the highway when I disagreed with his methods. So,
God damn.
That was
Pretty
smooth.
good.
thank you
That
for
was
your
very
force.
good.
All right. This is
Um,
where I shine, guys. The rest of the world doesn't know. Are we recording this? Shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
The
gonna be the
rest of the
intro for
world
sure.
knows.
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Draft Research. You are the audience, and together we are on a quest for Dynasty Nation. How's it going over there, boys?
Doing
It's
pretty
going
good, Blair.
good.
How
I
you
guess I
doing?
Pretty
should
good.
line it up one of you at a time. If the double answer is crazy.
Oh,
No.
well, at least we're both doing good. It would have been
No,
weird if
yeah, I
it's
mean
like
that would be crazier if somebody
good,
was like
bad, bad,
good
good.
and he's like actually shitty. I'm doing very
Yeah.
poorly. Like,
How
oh
much
no.
time do you have? No, man, we're doing good.
Good, good.
Christian, what's up, man? How are you doing? How about that?
I'm I,
Tell me.
I'm chilling, man. We're good to go, moving on to the round of 32, which is pretty exciting. Off season chugging along. And the boring part up until the draft though, we did have like one trade happen. Andy Dalton in the year of our
Gosh,
Lord
Allen.
2026 getting traded. Pretty crazy.
Hmm.
But I'm good,
Taylor
Yeah.
man.
Key, where's he going?
Justin Fields trade. What's
Oh
up?
yeah. Yeah, that one's actually pretty interesting, but we can dig into that on the
You're gonna put butts in the seats, man. Come to a KC game. I'm definitely going to see some
yeah,
Justin Fields action.
I'm down.
Let's
I
go.
have I seen I don't think I've seen Justin Fields live. Um let's do it, man. But yeah, other than that, all good to go. But we are back. We are here for the round of 32. We just finished up 64 last week, and now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. This is where it starts to really heat up. And we're gonna hit you with the southern portion of the bracket, which is
South.
pretty pretty good portion. I'd say the Midwest is probably the strongest than the South, uh, in my opinion.
Midwest, Kansas. Let's go.
Hey, hey, Midwest. But yeah, so let's crack
Represent.
into it. We got the South. We've got the number one seed, KC Concepcion, wide receiver out of Texas A&M, going up against the eight seed in Chris Brazel the second, wide receiver out of Tennessee. This is a close one, man. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about this. I do think maybe we're higher on Brazel than others, but I think the evaluation for Brazel is all over the place online. I've seen him as high as the fifth wide receiver in the draft. I've seen him as low as like the 15th. So like I think it's kind of crazy. So where'd you guys fall on this one?
Ooh, that's a good
Uh,
question.
I've Brazel winning.
Mm,
I've
Oh,
Brazel
okay.
winning just for certain reasons.
okay.
Like I thought he was amazing personally, and his production
Pretty
profile
good reason.
was out of this world. I just thought he did like what he was doing extremely well, and it's felt like he was kind of toying, like he had extra to give, and he put down that 4.37 40 at the combine. 6'4", 198. It's just kind of like you know, he was already high in my mind, and then he went ahead and posted some ridiculous speed that is clearly visible if you watch his game. It's like if Malachi Fields could run fast, uh, times three plus better catch rates. He's just a better player. He's amazing, dude. I love him. So not
I
gonna
mean,
take away from KC. He's pretty good as well.
for the shock factor, I'm okay pushing him through. I will say, through my evaluations, I watched Chris first, and I was like, ah, this guy fucking rules. And then I watched KC, and I was like, ooh, this guy is pretty solid. So, I mean, I think. How about this? I'll say Chris. Let's do it. Christian, you want to push him through?
I don't actually. I mean,
Okay.
I'm like obviously if I'm overruled, I'm overruled. But you're right. Brazel showed up at the combine. The height, the weight, the speed is pretty crazy. On the flip side, we only saw drills from KC, but they were good drills. No drops for him, which is huge. That's one of his biggest issues. So to me, this like obviously Brazel has the size and probably speed, but even if the speed, it's not by much. KC's acceleration and speed off the screen are pretty crazy. So it kind of
Yeah.
came down to who I thought had more to their game and a few specific stats. So first was yards after the catch, which Concepcion completely bodies Brazel in this category. This year it was 440 to 244 for KC Concepcion, but for their career, KC has 1,232 yards after the catch, 6.6 per against 463 for Brazel, which is insane to me, especially with that speed. Like you're not doing much to it with it after when you catch the ball. And then missed tackles force for their career, KC has 39, Brazel has 9 singular. That was pretty crazy to me. And then Brazel to me, like he's an outside guy, which is cool. 93% of the time. Casey's got a lot more going on in terms of moving him around. 28% of the time outside, 70% of the slot. So he is more of a slight guy, to be fair, but you can kind of use him everywhere. And then to me, I just thought Brazel would be like better at contested catches, being that big and that fast, but only 47%. Um, well, sorry, you would think he would have the edge, but 47% of the time, KC comes down with the ball, 17 of 35, compared to only 41% for Brazel, which is 20 of 49. And yeah, drops are a problem, obviously, for KC with 19, but Brazel also had 12. And if you look at their actual drop rate in terms of targets, it's 9.3 for KC to 8.2 for Brazel. So it's not like that crazy far off. To me, I just think Casey's a more versatile weapon right now. I think he can use his yak ability to really catch fire in the NFL. He did win the Paul Hornung Versatility Award in college last year. So I don't know. I mean, he's dealing with a knee injury. I'm fine if you guys want to go the other way because I do think it was close. But to me, I just see more opportunity for KC. And like really his biggest issue was his drops. And I don't know. That's not like a problem that I think you can't overcome at this stage. I mean, they're both youngish. I think Casey has him on the age a
He
little
was a
bit, but
year
it's
younger.
yeah, a year.
Yeah.
So that's nothing crazy. But like he's got time to develop, and I think if he focuses on that, he'll be all right. But that's where I came down was those kind of like major stats to me.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'll let Concepcion get through. That's no big deal. Obviously, Brazel has some room to improve. I thought, the way he kind of set himself up with like three-quarter speed through his routes, and then really
Yeah.
kind of slowed down to secure catches. So obviously that isn't, his best trait. He didn't have a lot of drops, but also didn't get a lot of contested catches. So
Hmm. I
he
mean,
focuses at the catch point, but it does cost him momentum that could have been translated into yards after the catch and things like that. But once he does have the ball, he's kind of like, I mean, he got the lightning to him. The depth of target is outrageous.
mhm.
I think that he isn't a well-rounded like number one, but I think as a deep threat, and kind of just like a big play machine, he's got a ton of potential, and I think that teams are gonna probably be looking for that. Obviously they are, but as far as like well-rounded guys, I stack KC up against like teams trying to make him a number one versus Brazel. I feel like he has an easier transition to continue the success he's been having in the NFL. So, but yeah, we can go with KC if that's okay with AJ.
I
I
mean,
think yeah. I think you push Casey through. I just wanted shock value. But I mean, my gripes with Brazel for sure is like, I mean, that guy just takes plays off constantly. It's just
Sure.
like every time the
yeah,
ball's not coming his way, he's
he
just
just
like
walk.
taking one step off the ball.
Hmm.
Um, He's also the thing that really bothered me is when the play breaks down, he doesn't really adapt well to it. Like he can run his route, he can be a big, he can sell a route. He's got fluid hips. He like can run those deep routes really well, but he'll I saw this one play, I forget who it was against, runs a hitch and the play breaks down, the quarterback's in trouble and he's just like looking around. It's just like, hey man, you got to adapt in the moment. So those are the things that kind of threw me off. I do like the pedigree. His dad was a 6th round pick for the Jets, so
Okay.
I always like to look at that. But size 9 hands, man, 6'4", 9-inch hands. What are we talking about here, man? I don't know, but
We're getting into hands in the
Big
round of
hand
32.
snob over here, AJ.
dude, I'm just saying 6'4", and you got the same size hands as me. I'm just kidding. They ain't 9 inches, but
I
it
mean,
could
Sky
be.
Moore, moon hands. Can't
Sky
win them all,
Moore, current Packer. Let's go. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw that.
wow. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't want to sway you guys too hard. I do think it was close. Like, I think it was
Nope.
closer than I thought. Like pre tournament, I definitely would have like immediately sent KC through, but this one didn't have me pause, so I don't want to scare you guys away or make you overthink it. But yeah, that's just where I landed for sure.
It's best
No.
for me if his draft stock goes down.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
I do.
I
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I do agree with Daniel though. Like the idea of having a potential like X receiver versus slot receiver is super like appetizing, and like I think for me it's all going to come down to like to coaching with
Yeah.
Brazel, and I think if he gets the right coach that can make him reach his potential, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if he became great.
No,
So
I wouldn't be shocked either. I guess my pushback there is I don't really see KC as a pure slot guy. Like I know
Yeah.
that he was predominantly there, but at 6 foot 196, I mean that's around Garrett Wilson size.
No, he's got
yeah,
good size, and it was only a
Like
third of the time in the slot for him this past season, so he kind of adapted over his years to
yeah,
to
I
move
think
outside.
do I think he can be like the truest number one ever in the league? Probably not, but I think there's only like two or three of those guys in this draft. But I don't see him that way. I think and that's why I kind of think he
Sorry.
has more to give at the moment. But
yeah,
I'm with you. I think if Brazel gets the right team, I do think what I was gonna say is I do think of the Tennessee wide receivers that we've talked about, he's
Oh
the one I'm
shit.
the least amount worried about. Because it does seem like the pedigree for these Tennessee wide receivers is not great.
yeah.
I know, man.
But
Ceiling is Josh Palmer,
Brazel, I do think has a lot more than
J-Bone.
just like a deep threat guy for sure.
and that's been the Brazzleverse Concepcion podcast. Come back next week.
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy. It's like a 4-inch height difference, and they're the same weight.
Yeah, it
mean,
is pretty
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely his player profile comp is Stephon Diggs. So
For
What?
Concepcion,
let it be,
Who's-
let it be.
I was
for
going to say, who's
Concepcion,
that?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know what
It's funny because when you said the
Brazel's
height and
is.
weight, I
Yeah.
was like, that's Stephon Diggs.
I know a terrapin.
All right,
By
well,
the way, I have my windows open. Can you
so-
guys hear those dogs barking?
I
No, I can only hear
can,
cats.
but
Okay, sorry.
we just got those dogs in us, as a podcast. We're good.
Oh shit! Oh, someone
all right.
says Stephon. Woo-hoo.
So Casey Concepcion narrowly moves on from Chris Brazo. Chris Brazo, such a strong showing from the 8th seed, but he's going to stay in the round of 32. So coming up next, we've got probably our lowest seed matchup ever in the round of 32 cumulative. We've got the 12 seed, Eric McAllister, wide receiver out of TCU, going up against the 13 seed, Mike Washington Jr., running back out of Arkansas. And I do not think that this one is nearly as close as the last one because I think Washington, much like his 4.340, runs away with this one.
Yes,
I
this one
agree
is
there.
even closer than the last one. Buckle in.
Oh shit! We're gonna do 2 hours on the Southern Bracket.
Oh,
Four
hell
matchups.
yeah. Bring it on, man. Yes, obviously, running away with it is Mike Washington, a real spring darling. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. There's been two guys that I think have built the most stock since the combine in terms of
Yeah.
draft profile, and Mike Washington is one of them for sure. So not much of a shot for McAllister, but McAllister does have a strong production profile. I mean,
Big time.
3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns in 3 seasons as a full-time starter, four total.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. He does have a bit of the droppies, like we kind of talked about with these last two guys, but he's got 16 at
Whoa.
8.7% drop rate, so not great there. But I do think he's a dynamic weapon with the ball in his hands. He's got 27 missed tackles forced this season, tied for the lead in all of our wide receivers in the tournament with Omar Cooper. I don't know. He's a bit slow off the line. Long speed is a bit lacking for sure, but there's some stuff to like about him.
Yeah, there's some reliability issues, but I don't know. He definitely wins at the catch point, and he creates long plays off of the broken tackles. You mentioned he's tying Omar Cooper with the 27, and I was kind of like surprised. I was pretty
Mm,
shocked when I put on the film, expecting to see a pretty easy victory for Washington, but like you said, man, 3,000 yards over three meaningful seasons, really. A lot of grit. There's no combine workout, so that doesn't really help his chances in this matchup. But after watching the film, he kind of came off as a guy that I think we'll be surprised how early we hear his name in
mm,
the NFL draft. I think
I could see that.
he's a very well-rounded and consistent guy, even if he doesn't have any of those, pop characteristics that everyone's looking for this time of year.
Yeah. I think he was just very surprising to me because, like, at first you're watching the film, it's like, oh, this guy looks like he's like running kind of clunky and he's
Mm.
like seems very robotic. And then you just see these big burst plays and these great catches. You're just like, oh, never mind. Never mind. Pretty solid
Yeah.
guy. Like the ball tracking ability is awesome. Yeah, he's just a tough dude too. I feel like he catches the ball and just like bounces off guys. Like it's
Yeah.
great to see.
That was the thing that surprised me, I think, the most when I really started digging into his tape. I was surprised he was only 194 at
Yeah.
the combine because he runs super strong, man. Like you're saying, he just bounces off people. He pushes through tackles a lot, does not let people just take him down. Like he's gonna fight you for every single yard. And I think that is like one of his stronger attributes. I do worry about like getting to the NFL level, and maybe that's not as easy for him to do in terms of pushing around these big corners. But also at 6'4", he's got the frame to add on weight, and it's not like speed was his big strong suit anyway. So if he becomes like an even bigger body wide receiver too in an offense, like he could kind of use that to his advantage. I think he's really good at finding holes for the QB as well. He did both those things. I was watching the SMU game, and he used strength and finding the hole for the QB really well on his first touchdown. Like he ran the route over the middle, and then like it kind of broke out to the right, so he just kind of weaved his way through the defenders that were, I think, in zone, or maybe they just stopped caring. I'm not sure. But found a hole for the QB, caught the ball, and then like ran up the sideline and just trucked a dude into the end zone. Like so that's what you see when you put on his tape. So I do think at first he's likely like a depth receiver, but I could see him being like a number two or at worst a number three at the NFL level, and adding some very good depth to whatever team he's on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what's
Our
with all these like 6'4" sub 200-pound receivers in this year's draft? It's crazy, man.
we're in
There's
the skinny trend.
Yeah, I guess so.
people don't eat, man. They don't cook. They don't eat.
We're Everybody's on Ozempic right now.
That's
Oh yeah,
true.
that's it.
That's
That's true.
that's the NIL money.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So the 13 seed Mike Washington Jr. is moving on to the round of 32, and Eric McAllister is staying here. So next up, we've got our 11 seed wide receiver out of Ole Miss, Deshaun Stribling, uh, wide receiver out of Ole Miss, going up against the tight end out of Vanderbilt, the 3 seed Eli Stowers. Still haven't figured that out yet, to be honest. And I do think Stowers takes this one.
Well,
Oh
obviously, I want to
yeah.
hear you keep trying to pronounce his name and on to the next round.
We'll
So
we'll deal that next week.
The Stower of Power, or is it Stour of Power?
Stour power. Stour power. I'm good with Stowers. Let's figure it
Stowers.
out. I'll figure it out next week. But for this week, we'll talk about Mr. Stribling. Great combine. A lot of these, you're gonna hear me say that a lot. I feel like, especially the wide receivers, like all of them had really good combines. But coming in at 6'2", 207, ran a 4.36, a 1.53 10-yard split. Coming off back-to-back 800-yard seasons for two different teams, only a 4% drop rate. I think he showed up in the biggest of all spots. We kind of commented it going to the playoffs that he was a name to watch. And this year against Georgia, he caught 7 passes for 122 yards and a huge catch to set him up in field goal range late in the game. In space, I think he's super hard to
Yeah.
catch, screams through holes in zone coverage, and makes really nice catches. One of them, like up against the sideline against Georgia. There's a lot to like about Stribling.
Yeah, I think he's tough, dude. I think that's what jumps out to me. Like he kind of hits every play with the same intensity. And he likes to do those kind of adjustments at the catch point and then heat up after he gets it. And running well once the ball's secured. Like you mentioned, two different homes. He had that stint there at Oklahoma State. He was doing
He had
quite
three.
well. Hit the Washington State too. So he's just really had success at three different schools, 600-yard season at Washington State. So to be able to kind of just plug in and be versatile, I mean, hey, you want to see that a guy that can transition well. But man, the thing that about him that I really love and the toughness and all that is nearly half of his yards came after the catch,
Mm.
and you could see it in the college football playoffs. Like the dude was just out there to win a football
Mhm.
game. I hate to say it all the time. It's like ever since Elijah Moore, but if I see these guys in the Old Miss uniform looking tough, I just get excited about it. So hopefully he can have a better pro career than we saw at Moore there. But yeah, I like him. I like him. I don't know why I like all these guys, but the depth of this class is just killing me, man. I'm like, I'm waiting for someone to disappoint me. And
yeah.
yeah, just stay tuned. Who knows?
Yeah, I would say all my notes, you just hit it. Like tough physical dude. He's doesn't shy away from contact, whether that's blocking or, running the ball. He just feels like an old school grinder type.
For sure.
I think he's got like a high football IQ too. It seems like he kind of knows where to be and what to do. And I don't know. I just in my notes I just said he just knows how to earn his spot. I think maybe that's going to three different schools, but he shows up for work, he puts in the work, shows the good work ethic, and just 6'2", 207. That's just like a solid dude.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's in a
100%.
good place to succeed.
Yeah, no, I think so too. There's a lot to like about him. I do just one negative. I do think his footwork is kind of crazy and can use some
Oh,
work. Feels a
Hmm.
little slow. Like he almost is like stomping more than he's crafty when he starts going. I don't know if you guys notice that or agree, but
He's just mad at the
yeah.
earth, man.
yeah, he's
It's
like, oh,
that's
I'm
like
gonna
it
do
feels like
some
it
crazy
turns off
moves, but it's
after
like,
the
and
it's like
then
hyper
Yeah,
focus and intensity, but once he has the
yeah,
ball, he kind of frees up in
for
his
sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
movement.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it. Definitely feels like a complimentary wide receiver. I don't
For
I
think
think so
sure.
too. Yeah.
like he's gonna slide in real well with those like 12 personnel blocking and all that. Anyway,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. A little bit on the older side and does have some injury concerns, but I think he's a fun dart throw. Makes him intriguing. I have seen him compared to Tyquan Thornton, which I'm nervous that he gets buried on the depth chart like Tyquan, but hopefully not. But not enough to beat Eli from Vanderbilt. So Eli is moving on, and Dejan Stribling is staying put. I got his name finally. So sorry for messing it up a few times. All right, our last matchup of the round of 32 for the southern portion of the bracket. We've got 10th seeded Dion Burks, wide receiver out of Oklahoma, going up against the 2 seed in Jeremy Bernard, uh, a wide receiver out of Alabama. I think Bernard takes this one, and just throwing that out there, he's a more well-rounded option, whereas Burks to me is like a specialty high upside guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
agreed.
I guess he probably has some specialties. Athletic measurables is his specialty.
That is a huge one.
Put it down. Yeah, I mean on paper the dude, I mean the metrics are insane, right? The burst
Mhm.
score 99th percentile, so he's jumping out of this world, obvious explosiveness, 4.340, you know, 180, you know, 5'10. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's on the line. People can do that, but 23 years old, and where's the production, my homie? 5 years in, and you never beat 650 yards. You just got a really old, fast guy here.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I put on the film, and he's got quick releases, and he can beat coverage when he knows the ball's coming his way, but
Mhm.
horribly inconsistent and just like didn't really seem like he was getting after it. His a wide receiver named Burks. Obviously, we all got cold feet on that. I just, you know, and he's not meant to be like competitive in this particular matchup, but this was the guy that I was just like, man, he could have been a better college player, and he ain't gonna be a good NFL player. That's kind of where I landed.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, he is like kind of fitted for the slot role, and there's like a lot
There's a
of
ton of them.
these slot super fast guys in this class. It's like a dime a dozen. But at
Yep.
5'10", 180, that's probably where he's going to land. He obviously he transferred from Purdue in 2024 to Oklahoma after a fairly decent season, but like you said, nothing like crazy to write home about. Topping out with the Sooners at 617 yards. I would have guessed he spent more time in the slot, but actually 66% of the time he was out wide, which is
Mhm.
insane, and I just don't think that can hold up at the NFL level. And the other thing I noticed, only 2 games this past season of 100 yards, but even worse than that, only 3 for his entire career.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. I mean, if it looked like he was capable of so much more, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with I do think quarterback play had an issue here. I don't want to use that for all these guys because I mean college quarterbacks just aren't that great. But I feel like he had way too many contested catches for a guy that's 4.3 that runs a 4.3 flat. He had 55 attempts, only a 36% rate, and he just gets bullied because he's so small. But like, I just feel like a lot of the passes that went his way were inaccurate. Is that gonna like make the difference in the NFL? No, I don't think so at all. I think I liked Burks a lot more when we first talked about the South than I did after digging some more into him.
Sure.
I do think a transition to a pure slot guy could do him some good. Not having to go up against these bigger corners, not having to deal with that physicality and kind of just getting open over like, oh, he's on a linebacker and he runs a 4.3. Like, let's just get him wide ass open. If he did that, I think that helps. Especially he does have like a good catch radius for his size. Still not a great catch radius. He's a bit smaller guy, but 73rd percentile for his size gives him a little bit of wiggle room. But all of his routes and everything were super short. He has the second lowest yards per route run out of every wide receiver in our tournament. To be fair though, Bernard was third, which kind of surprised me. But it just all those things lead to like maybe a bit more than a gadget guy, but not much more for in terms of like my fantasy hopes and dreams, you know?
It's
Yep.
really the depth of the class is drowning this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He just feels like we get one of these guys a year that we get all excited about and forget about
Mhm.
him in 4 years. So,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah,
We're
I
fast
mean,
forward, we're skipping it.
All right. Well, all right. So Dion Burks is staying put and we'll forget about him in 4 years. But
you heard it
Jeremy,
here
let's
first.
move it on. So for the Sweet 16 matchups in the southern portion of the bracket, we've got KC Concepcion going up against Mike Washington, the 13 seed, making it all the way to the Sweet 16. We've got Eli from Vanderbilt going up against Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. So
Bama.
yeah, should be a pretty spicy Sweet 16 section of the southern portion of the bracket. So Until we get to that, though, we're gonna hit the rest of these places, are in terms of the Atlantic, the Midwest, and the West. But until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next time.
4 wide receivers ushered out tonight.
I took a lease out on you.